Better than Lego. Better than Lego.
Matthew Johns is in position for a long-range shot. He's with it now, Matthew Johns.
How are we all going? It's been all right. How are you going, Trish?
No, not good.
That's all right. You feel like shit, huh?
Yeah, I feel like shit.
That's all right. You look like shit too. Right. And welcome to the John's Family Podcast for this week. Let's keep it light and bright, guys. Guess what? Great news. We have the whole family in the studio at once. How good's this? Hey? How good, huh? Are we excited?
Mate, I'm so excited. This is the first time ever
In the studio.
in the studio.
In the studio. Yeah. The House of Hate. How about you, Jack? Welcome, mate. Welcome to the House of Hate.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome to be here.
Yeah. How you going there, Trish? Pretty quiet today. You all right?
No, I'm not well.
I've got concerns about your lifestyle. I know. Yeah.
Which bit?
You just got to pull back a little bit. Jack, Coop, would you agree with me? She's just been going too hard.
Like loose.
Yeah,
She's pretty loose at the moment.
yeah, Coop's a little shattered from a little conversation we had this morning, actually.
Do you want to tell the listeners?
No, you tell them.
Yeah, come on.
Well, I've been sleeping on the couch just to paint the picture because I've been kicked out of my own room in my own house.
And Cooper's brought about 7 bags home
Yeah.
Bags of clothes. by
Bags
the
of
way.
clothes.
that are strewn throughout the
Thanks
house.
for clarifying that.
Yes.
But she's come out and woke me up this morning and she said, Cooper, let's what was the actual
Cull?
thing you said? No, she said
Let's do a bag
Let's
this-
do a bag this morning. And I've just woken up and I was like, what?
What was that,
She goes,
Joey?
let's do a bag this morning and then after that we'll put it on the rack. And I was like,
No, I think I said I'll get you a rack.
I'll get you a rack. And I was just a little bit confused, and especially just how she's sort of been lately, like the last week.
Yeah.
Which is sort of implied, like up in Byron. We'll get to that, but some loose stuff from Trish.
Yeah, full on. It's funny, ironically, to say that because today's theme is drinking. So we're exercising, which, to be honest, given the fact that we're doing it with our children, it sort of feels like irresponsible. But who cares?
Well, our children
right.
are adults.
Children,
yeah.
25, 23.
And our children are quite responsible. In fact, potentially more responsible than us at
Well,
various times.
One of them is responsible. The other one's a little bit loosey-goosey. We'll put it this way. This side of the room is responsible. This side of the room...
Do not put yourself in that category.
The great Bulldog Richie, who writes for the Daily Telegraph, he calls Trish Joey.
Why?
Because I went to a concert one night together, which is so weird. I mean, now that's an odd couple, Bulldog Richie and Trish. Anyway, nonetheless, if you're going to sleep with
Was
a
it just
burner-
that? Was it them two?
No, it was a whole lot of people.
A lot of people, but Bulldog was in the thing. He goes, mate, your wife goes nuts. She's crazy. I said, yeah, she is. He goes, mate, I call her Junior Joey. And I said, probably better off calling Joey Junior Trish.
Yeah.
Actually,
Because of the age gap.
And great hands.
Yeah, that's right.
your mum always said I was a female version of Andrew and that's why you like me.
Why is that?
Okay,
Why?
It's interesting. I mean, I haven't made love to Andrew for 20 years, but
20 years.
haven't made love to Trish for 20 years either. Les, so the theme today is drinking. By the way, it made me think, remember those drinking commercials where it was like, the bloke would go, hey Simon, go and get that a beer out of the fridge.
Yeah.
And they said that leads to...
And then it'd flash forward to the kid saying to his kid, hey, Billy, go and get daddy a
Do you
drink.
believe with that? Do you think that's...
Yeah, I do.
Because my dad used to do it to me.
Yes, that's right.
It hasn't hurt me.
And my dad used to do it to me too.
Although I'm on to my 5th beer this morning, it's 10 a.m. But no, I
You used to do it to us a little bit.
No, you didn't.
I never did that
No,
to you
I
guys.
wouldn't let him.
I never did that to you guys.
Well, I guess it didn't matter really. It's sort
And
of
it's a bit
just...
hard for like a 5-year-old to pull vodka.
yeah, it's
Yeah.
true. Now,
Dad doesn't drink beer. That's
Actually, I'll give you a rap. You're not one of those people, Colbert, that like if you need a light turned off or if you need
Mate,
to get the remote from the other side of the lounge, you're not really the type of person to ask someone else to get it. You generally, now that I think about it, you're the type of person that goes and does it yourself.
Usually.
So like responsible in that.
I'm
you
a
know what I'm
kid.
saying?
By the way, that little slap in the background was a high five. So for the people that aren't watching via YouTube, that was a nice little high five. We'll do it again. Yep.
It used to be a real thing, wasn't it? Parents use their children as
Slaves.
mini
Yeah.
slaves, really.
I've seen it heaps.
Yeah.
I see people do it all the time with their kids.
Yeah.
Give us an example.
Okay,
Well,
well, I'll
if
give you an example of when it was done to me. When I first moved to Melbourne, I stayed with a homestay, and because I was the youngest, he would often make me go and get the beers.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was like, youngest, go and get. I was like, oh, shit.
You reckon it was because he was just afraid of Tui?
So what was the
No, it
house?
was youngest.
It was you?
Me,
saw-
Harry, and Tui.
So
and
you,
I was
Harry
the
Grant,
youngest.
Tui Kamitha.
Yeah.
Well done to Harry Grant too. Well, Harry and Tui played each other the other night.
Yeah.
Harry
Oh,
was the best player on the field. Didn't get man of the match. Munster got man of the match, but Harry was the best player on the field.
Yeah, I thought they were both outstanding.
Yeah.
Both carved them up. But Harry was. I actually didn't watch the whole game, but I watched the highlights, and it looked like when he come on, Harry Houdini,
Yes.
the game turned.
Oh, Harry Houdini, just escaping out of boxes all the time. Now, family, as I introduce you, if you were a drink, which would you be and why?
I'm going to be a pina colada,
Yeah.
and that would be because it's fresh, creamy, it lines the stomach, so you don't feel sick. But you can only have so many of them before they get a little sickly, and that's a bit like me, really. I have a
Small
limit.
doses.
Yeah.
You are small doses.
I
That's
am.
why I'm thinking about going with the boys up to Newcastle.
I think you should.
I've just about had my fill. What about you, Jack?
I went for a straight on the nose shot of Fireball.
Oh, jeez, that stuff's sweet.
This will be interesting to hear why.
Yeah.
Because I like cinnamon.
Well, and the other thing is today you're on fire.
Thanks, Cobber.
Okay, what about you, number 2, son?
I had 1999 Pinot Noir. I just thought it gets better with age. Acquired taste, but some people think it's a little heavy, which
Well-
I don't agree with. I think
No.
those people are idiots.
Well, let me just get something wrong. Whoever says that is an idiot because a Pinot is a light red. It's the
Yeah.
easiest red to drink. I know. It starts like this. Shiraz,
Yep.
Cabernet Sauvignon, which is the blend.
You don't like blends, man.
Don't like blends. Merlot, and then into the Pinot. And there's
Is
some
Pinot
other...
the bottom?
Pinot is as far as... I mean, rosé doesn't count as a red.
No.
No, it does.
God. You know who drinks rosé? Christian Welch.
So do I.
Oh,
Yeah. Yeah, that's different because like you're allowed to drink it. But
Yeah.
we've had a big team drink up once at the Espy in St Kilda, where we had a bar tab on and everyone was just, oh, right, drinking beers. And we look over, Christian Welch had a pink Ralph Lauren shirt on and he was drinking rosé out of a bottle. And it was, I've got photos of it. It's
Was
disgusting.
he wearing a monocle and maybe like a cravat and stuff like that? That's very
a
rugby.
beret. Yeah, it was. Well, he went to a union school.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, Villanova College, which was the brother school to me and Jack's school, St.
Oh,
Augustine's.
wow. Champagne Villanova.
He
says it all.
He's been over at Oktoberfest, Christian, with one of my old teammates, Kurt Dillon. They look like they're having a fantastic time over there.
Oktoberfest. Wow. I haven't been to Oktoberfest, but that went to Germany for the Soccer World Cup. Same thing. All the beer halls were open.
It looks like a lot of fun. Like
Oh, mate. It's,
getting dressed up and you'd hate it, Cobber.
Yeah. Mate, the Lederhosen. Yeah. Very, very good. Munich went to Frankfurt. Frankfurt was a bit of a... I didn't really enjoy it that much. To be honest, I didn't get out of the city. But they say the countryside's very nice. Our dear friend Brian Carney lived in Frankfurt for a while.
Were you saying at Oktoberfest the like waitresses that bring out the beers, they get paid by
Steins.
how many beers they bring out? Is that right?
Well,
what you were saying?
they can carry about 4 steins in either hand.
Yeah.
They're very good. I mean, there must be a technique,
Yeah.
but
They just have bigger hands.
Big
I think.
Long
hands.
fingers.
Yeah, that's right. I order 3 drinks and have to get a tray. I've gone the Molly Meldrum. Of course, after reading Molly's book, Molly Meldrum, the Molly Meldrum drink, people, if you want to give it a try, is vodka, Fanta, and ginger beer.
Have you ever had it?
Yes, I have numerous times, and it is delicious. Big shout out to Molly. What a great man. Great
What a
man.
great
he is.
man.
Great.
Speaking of music-themed drinks, have you ever heard of the I can't remember if it was Axl Rose or Slash, but the Guns N' Roses New York morning wake-up was a half a cup of coffee, half a cup of orange juice, and a spoonful of heroin and mix it together.
There you go, Trish.
Is that how... I thought heroin could only be like injected.
No,
Well,
you
it
can
can
you can smoke it and you can don't know
Put
Just
it in
ingest
coffee.
it
I don't think
anyway.
you can... Really?
No, I
Oh,
think-
it gets
yeah.
in.
Well, it's
yeah.
just not as effective, I guess.
Yeah, that's right.
It's not.
Shit.
It's not. It's
Straight
not.
into the veins.
Let's
is-
not.
Shout out to
Yeah.
Slash.
Yes.
Let's not give our
okay.
listeners any ideas.
Let's keep with the theme here for a second. Best person to have a drink with and why? Trish?
I refuse to answer that because I think I can have a drink with anyone. I don't want to insult anyone that I've ever had a drink with.
Yeah, right. Do you really think you're that easygoing, do you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Why don't you just give us one?
Just
one
just give us one person.
yeah, who you've enjoyed in your life having a drink with.
You enjoyed having a drink with. So
Yeah.
don't talk about Luke. We're not going to talk about Luke anymore.
I'll go Rosemary Scoggs.
Oh, yeah, the people across the road, the Italians across the road. You Italians really stick thick. You're like
Yeah.
a mafia. Oops.
It's quite interesting when you meet someone that we've had quite different upbringings, but because of our cultural similarities, quite similar, there's a lot of connection. It's quite interesting.
I really am the odd man out in the street because I'm surrounded by Italians. As
Not
much
really.
as
What about Marty? Marty's not Italian.
It's true. Yeah, he is my man. Well, and he's Irish ancestry. Yeah,
That's
me and
right.
Marty. Yeah, it's getting pretty heavy. We're actually starting to form gangs in our street. It's getting pretty dangerous, guys. Yeah, so don't come in our street wearing your colours, Crips and Bloods. Just careful. They got the O'Briens and the Scoggs and the Magno Cavallos. Cooper.
I had Scott Drinkwater.
Oh,
I wanted to go a little bit, somebody who I probably haven't spoke about before.
ironically, his name's Drinkwater.
Yeah, drink water. Well, he does not drink water, actually. This man can put him back, and he is a really good dancer, actually. He always wears flat caps, so he's got a really cool hat move that he's learnt from YouTube when he was younger, and he can sort of make it move without touching. It's like a little magician trick, and he always does it when he gets drunk. Yeah.
We'd love to see it.
Sick. And he's
Recently engaged as well.
recently engaged.
Has he?
Him and Osha, yep. Shout out to the happy couple, the Drinkwater couple.
Do they listen to the podcast at all?
I'd like to think so. I mean, I'm sure we'll see this week if they send us a message saying thanks for the shout out.
One thing about Drinky, I remember when he came when we were living.
Buy round.
Yeah.
Buy round 2019, Copper.
Yeah, it was
2018, I think it was.
He was.
29.
He's a toucan screamer.
Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. He's got so much energy. He's a little bit one of those blokes that he doesn't even need to drink sometimes, and he's just his energy levels are through the roof.
Because you guys were drinking out the back, and yes, we were about to go into town. I warned Drinky because I was watching Drinky. Everyone else is on their second beer, and Drinky's starting to go crazy. I said, just could be careful, Drinky. Mate, in Sydney, mate, if they even suspect you've had more than half a drink, they'll question you, won't let you in. He said, mate, I'll be sweet. He came back 2 hours later. He goes, they wouldn't let me in. Anyway. I said, mate.
You know what's funny? One of my good mates, Finn Heath, we went into Manly one night when we were 18. And he was he'd had a fair few, and he gets kind of back then, he's all right now, but back then he used to it'd be obvious, really obvious that he was blind. And the security guard at one of the pubs we're trying to go to goes, mate, how many drinks you had? And it's like the rule, you just say anything under 5, really, even if you've had 12. And he was almost trying to big note to him. He goes, probably about 15. And the dude's looking at his ID and he goes, well, then you're not coming in. And he goes, why? And he goes, because you've had 15 drinks. I legally cannot let you in now that you've told me you have 15 drinks. And you had to just Uber home. Now he always says he's had 3.
He goes, sorry.
2 at dinner.
You, Jacko?
I've gone with, I was trying to think, best person to have a drink with. I thought there's probably 3 categories there, and that's probably someone have a one-on-one casual drink with, then someone that can go well in a group environment, and then, of course, kick-ons later on.
Good thing.
And I've gone with my little mate Jackson Maish from here on the Northern Beaches.
Yep, Maishi.
Serious alcohol.
Yeah, Maishi's about 5'5" and refuses to drink anything other than VB. He's a lot of fun, and he's generally last man standing. And he goes, he gets quite rowdy.
He gets
every time he's had a drink here, he somehow gets in a fight with Trish. And
he doesn't?
It's, well,
Not a fist fight.
not a fist fight.
No.
I
But
love Fishy.
it's like when you two have a drink together, it's like you just collide.
Really?
It's quite funny to watch.
What are the other ones in the group?
Yeah.
Jack?
Did you have any other?
For the group? Explain the categories. Yeah.
Yeah.
I went. The categories here that I went for best drinks. So I went with someone who can one-on-one. Or,
Hang on a second.
But are you nominating a person for each category?
each category.
No.
Or you just broad brushed?
I was going.
So why did you bring up
best
3
drinker?
categories?
Yeah.
Because they have to tick all the boxes.
Oh, gotcha. Well played.
It's never easy.
It's a higher level of
literally
intelligence.
never easy with you. Why would you say, I'll split it up into 3 categories and then just name one winner?
Yeah, someone that can cover all three categories.
Yeah, gotcha.
He said
It's
best
fair.
drink. He didn't say who got the best stamina. He didn't go with, who gets the most blind, who can drink the most, or who's just good one-on-one.
Yeah, but is getting the most blind a positive or a negative? Because
exactly.
I hate those liabilities of people that ruin your night.
Fair.
Well, that's why there's the three categories.
Word. I've gone my two great mates, Phil Bailey and Brian Carney, because one's got your back, which is Bales, and the other one you've got to watch your back, and Brian Carney. Hey, well done to Brian. Overnight in the UK, he was being interviewed by this controversial guy on Sky News who's brought up a lot of controversy because he criticised the Irish women's soccer team who qualified for the World Cup because they sung an Irish song, and he was like, "Mate, you guys need to be educated on what that song means." And the girls were anyway. A lot of people have come out and said, "Oh, mate, give him a break," Anyway, he got Brian on his show and said, "We've got Brian Carney on. Isn't it great news that for the first time in a long time, the Great Britain are going to do a tour of New Zealand?" And Brian goes, "Mate, I'll just pull you up there and give you a geography lesson. It's called Great Britain and Ireland. And last time I checked, if didn't get the memo, I don't know if I didn't get the memo, but last time I checked, it was called Great Britain and Ireland, if you don't mind." And I thought, good for you, Brian.
Well done, Brian.
Good
Standing
one.
up for yourself.
Who is the dude?
I don't know. I don't know who he was. And I don't want to know. Trish, haven't we? Well, you've had a great week. You were up at Byron Bay for the week.
I was.
Yep. Tell us what
Jeez.
you were up to. It was. See, we had
I did a bit of work.
we had a birthday to go to on the Friday night. Trish thought she'd go up on the Monday,
Yep.
and
I caught up, and then I went up to the Gold Coast and I saw Koopy.
yep.
How long did you
last?
last in Byron
I got
on your
really
own?
24 hours. I got lonely.
She went up there to
I
do a
got
bit of
on my
work. She
own.
said, "I've got to get there. I need a bit of work to be done. I'm going to go by myself." And she went up there and got lonely in 2 days. And I'm like,
got
"Well,
really depressed.
it probably defeats the purpose of going up and needing solitude to get the work done."
Well, I did end up getting solitude the next day and kept working up on the Gold Coast. But then with the knowledge that I was going to have dinner with friends that night and people and not be totally isolated, it just taught me that I am a people person, even though sometimes I like being on my own.
You're a pack animal. That's what you are.
Wolf.
Well, we all are.
Yeah.
Did you see
Humans need human contact.
Were there any hippies up there in Byron?
There's always hippies.
Angry hippies.
There was.
Always
They
hippies.
are furious.
Can I just give a?
They just hang out in camper vans.
When we go up to the Byron, a great friend of ours picks us up at Ballina Airport, Jamie.
Yeah.
And Jamie, he has going to let people know. A lot of people listening to our show love their music. Jamie's got a band called Gulba. The album's got an album out called Wembley. It's available on Spotify. And if you're an Oasis fan like me, or just like good music, he does a cover of Oasis' Stand By Me. So get on there and have a listen. Great guy, Jamie. Champion. Very talented musician. So get behind it.
It was a good cover too. I liked it.
Really good
Played
cover.
it in the car to the airport the next day.
And then he did a version of AC/DC's "You Shook Me All Night Long" because he's very tight with the Young family.
Yeah, right. I didn't know he was Gulba band.
Yeah.
Because he always replies to my
Yeah,
stuff on
same.
Instagram. I'm always like, "Oh, sick," and then I didn't realize it was him.
Well,
Now,
that's how I met him.
What?
He was a listener and then communicated
Oh,
through
right,
Insta,
and
and
it's-
that's how we got to know him.
How good. Well done, Jamie.
What about, well, we're up there for a fancy dress party, of course. Wasn't the fancy dress party a lot of fun?
Oh man, the
It was-
Ogilvy Leicester clan know how to. They're still going. They're up there till about Wednesday. They're on day 4. The whole family.
God, how many drugs does that take? Those Unbelievable.
They're well seasoned. They've been trained from an early age. The
The
whole family.
theme, Trish, was anything 60s.
It was Slim Aaron's 60s because it was a 60th. It was Joel's 60th.
Yeah.
And it was so much fun. And who did you come as, Matt?
Well, see, everyone was dressed, when I went there, everyone was dressed like in disco gear and sort of hippie, sort of disco gear sort of thing. So I thought I'd do something different and went as a famous 60s and 70s author, Hunter S. Thompson.
Who wrote?
He wrote Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas, and he wrote a book which was hugely famous where he embedded himself in the Hells Angels bikie gang and wrote about it.
And what was that called?
It was called, I don't know, I forget the name of that one. But his type of journalism was called gonzo journalism. It's where you place yourself in the story.
You
and live
immerse
it.
yourself.
Yeah, it's very, very good.
When I went up and visited Aaron Booth up in the Gold Coast.
So Aaron Booth,
Yeah, how's it going?
He's good. But I'll get to that. But he's a big fan of Hunter S. Thompson, and he said he's watched a documentary on him, and he said he was telling me stories about how when he used to write, he used to go to the back corner of a bar, get a pack of cigarettes, be drinking, and would be doing cocaine, and would just use that as creative juices for all of his writing.
Listening to a podcast with Jan Wenner, who started Rolling Stone magazine. Jan Wenner employed Hunter S. Thompson to write articles on Rolling Stone magazine. They had quite a bit of a toxic relationship at different times. And he used to say that they were talking about Hunter S. Thompson's drug use, and they said that technically he was a pharmacist. So that's who he used to say.
Unlicensed?
Sorry, yeah.
I would say an unlicensed pharmacist, but one of the greatest writers of all time. And of course, he became very good friends with Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp bought the rights to the movie Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. He and Benicio del Toro play in the film. It's one of the most pretty hardcore, sort of bizarre movies of all time. And Johnny Depp, they become great mates. And when Hunter S. Thompson died, he said, "Cremate me." And Johnny put me in a cannon and just shoot me off into the distance, which he did.
Oh,
Really?
Yeah, which he did.
Your outfit, I actually placed it on Instagram, and I was amazed to see that there were quite a few people who actually identified you as that author. Because you even had the cigarettes in your hat and the like croc-like shoes and long
It had
socks. It was interesting look.
I had sandals, long socks, sort of those short shorts.
Bucket hat.
A bucket hat.
I actually, when I was sent the video, because I obviously wasn't up there. When I was sent the video, I thought you were the niggler from Happy Gilmore, the jackass guy.
Yeah.
You know the guy who's trying to put him off.
yeah.
I know you were that dude.
No,
Not
no,
60s.
No.
A lot
I
of
didn't know
people
what the
thought. A
theme
lot
was.
of people thought you were Robin Hood there.
Really?
Yeah, heaps of
I didn't
people
get that.
kept coming up to me. No, at the party.
Yeah, no, but he should have had tights on if he's Robin Hood.
Yeah, no, but I think they were drunk.
Yeah. You think?
Robin Hood, mate, it may be 1760s.
How about
Is he 1760s?
How about Gordy when he put that wig on? He looked the spitting image of Javier Bardem.
Is it Bardot or Bardem?
Bardem.
Javier Bardem.
Yeah, married to Penelope Cruz.
I don't know who Javier
I'm going to
Bardem
put up
is.
on Insta like the similar pictures of them both.
Penelope Cruz.
He pulled it off well. Gordy. Mate, it was
It was someone else's wig, but that's all right.
It was some good stuff, some wild dancing going on. It was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot of fun.
How about you? Georgia kept talking about, I didn't see you do it, you were turning your dancing shoes on,
my
and then
sandals,
you turn them off.
my
Yeah.
sandals.
A
Yeah.
little touching them, and then they're done. Quite cute. Oh, but you're drinking some more of your chloroform that I heard you
Urine.
say.
Yeah.
You going to say something then, Jack?
No, I was just say what was turning them off, Cobber? Did you have to?
I just reach down and just touch either side, turn them on, and they just take a life of their own. There's a bit of Borat dancing and made the knees, the crossover knees thing, which I've become really good at, and then just turn them off. I mean, people are just sort of staring at me. Going, like,
They weren't the only things being turned off that day. So was every woman at that party when you were doing that.
what's the matter with long socks and sandals? But I scanned a lot of the op shops, Vintage de Paul's and everything, and read Salvos, Northern Beaches. Man, they got some great stuff. I actually almost got a new wardrobe. It's sensational.
Yeah, I got my Mad Monday costume in Newcastle from Salvos. It was a $20 suit that someone had been worn in an open casket before he was cremated.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
Did it come with a history?
Sick bastard.
What the hell is wrong with
Had a
you?
tag on it.
I didn't realise that you gave birth to Jeffrey Dahmer.
How did you even know that?
It had a tag on it.
What's saying like disclaimer? Somebody wore this who was.
Well, I was wondering why it was so cheap, and it was a bit small. And I thought it was perfect.
I hope you're joking.
Sure.
No. Trish,
Yes.
what else, mate? What else has been going on for you, Pat?
We failed to mention Jack had a birthday.
Oh, yeah.
On the weekend, which was one of the reasons we had to come back early. We missed out on the Festival of Jola.
Hang on. You
yes.
did all right. You're up there for 5 days.
Yes.
Yeah. Sorry you had to come back for your son's birthday.
I know. Happy birthday, Jacko.
Well done, Jack.
Nice.
Yeah. And I actually got a family photo.
Oh, did you? Wow.
I had to superimpose myself behind you boys on the lounge and ask Georgia to snap it before
Do you know what
you all
Superimpose.
Yeah, I know that means me being placed there, but I had to place myself there. Like, you guys were not contributing whatsoever. I just had
Foreground,
to.
background.
Yeah. I just had to jump in behind you and just be there. So we got a family photo. It's not a great one. Matt looks not great, but I look fine. That's all that matters, really.
Not looking so fine today, baby.
Well, I'm not well.
You're not well. Okay, theme. Best pre-song before you head out. Trish, you're on a roll. Keep going.
Do you think I am? I'm going Donna Summer's Last Dance.
Last dance.
It goes slowly, creeps up to this wonderful crescendo, and it just gets me in a mood.
This might be a little bit unpopular opinion for me, but I think a lot of the old school music isn't great for like pre-songs about to go out.
But that's for you. It's a personal thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, mine is. I did two. I did one for the youth who might listen to it. "World Hold On" by Bob Sinclair.
Technically, that's a bit more old school now. Gob.
Yeah, but it's modern now.
I don't.
Fisher-
it doesn't
Fisher-
do anything for
did
me.
Fisher,
In relation to Donna Summer, it probably
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Thank you. And then for you old folks, "Small Town Boy" by Bronski Beat.
Oh, I like Bronski.
Yeah,
Very
I love
good.
Bronski Beat.
Wow.
Usually gets me going.
Yeah. You're the music aficionado here, Jack. What do you do?
Well, we've had a few pre's in the last couple of months in the off season, but I've gone with a new track, "Afraid to Feel" by IF System. You would have heard it a few times, I reckon.
No,
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, for our listeners, would have hopefully heard it.
I don't
It's-
think anyone's heard. I've never heard of that song before.
I'm not afraid to feel. In
Do I-
fact,
am
I won't be
am I
afraid to
putting
have
it
a
on?
listen.
Yeah, go on.
There you go. Have a little play. While we're
Okay,
about
you
it's-
tell us yours, Matt.
It's been coming on a fair bit lately.
right, I've been listening to a lot of Kaiser Chiefs of late, and of course they played the Rugby League World Cup the other day.
Didn't they have some technical difficulties?
There was, and he ran along the sideline trying to get the crowd going and slipped over, fell
Oh,
over.
God
But
damn.
a great band. In fact, they're from the lead singer, who Ricky Wilson. He's from Keeley, where Sammy Burgess is from, and really strong.
How
rugby
old?
league.
How old's he now? How old's the Kaiser Chiefs?
Oh.
I reckon,
Well, we were listening to them when the boys were young, so they've got to be
yeah,
going on
with
20.
fair age. So the song I listened to,
20
very,
years.
I Predict a Riot.
Yeah.
Every day I love you less and less.
You got a new
Everything's
lead singer,
average nowadays.
Have they?
You got a new lead singer now.
Ruby? They sing Ruby
There's
as
a bit
well.
of controversy on the last one.
Yes.
Yeah, if you didn't notice that.
Sorry, Jack, go on.
Did you
Go
want
on,
that
Jack.
song?
Yeah,
Yeah.
go on.
Yeah, please.
I mean,
Put
if
it right
it's-
up.
If it's shit, we can. Oh yeah, I know this one.
Yeah. How close do you want it, Trish? Do you want me to
At the
suffocate mic?
front of the mic.
Yeah.
There you go. Amateurs. This
Very,
is good.
Very funky town
There you
over
go.
there.
At what point does it become copyright?
Oh, yeah, better cut it out.
Gav will look after that.
And then it speeds up, right?
Yeah, that's me.
Well, our man Jamie told me we were discussing the Kaiser Chiefs, and he told me he thinks that the DMAs are on tour with the Kaiser Chiefs at the moment in the UK.
Really?
Yeah, there you go. And the other one about Ricky Wilson, people who are rugby league train spotters, someone told me that Ricky Wilson's father-in-law was the great Eddie Waring. Anyway, he won iconic commentator in rugby league in England. Don't know. Maybe you can find out. Someone over in the UK can give us a hand with that. Whether it's true, whether it's not, who knows?
Does that matter on this podcast?
That's a good thing.
Never stopped you before.
Anything that comes out of my mouth, take with a grain of paprika. We'll take a break and be back with more in a second. Welcome back to the John's Family Podcast, people. And we're just discussing the great Hunter S. Thompson before and saying that his drug use was pharmaceutical. And sweet producer Gav just said to me, Matty, have a look at Hunter S. Thompson. Google Hunter S. Thompson daily routine. Okay. Rise, 3:05 p.m. Have a Shivers Regal with the morning paper. And
What's a
du-
Shivers Regal?
It's a Scotch whiskey. isn't
Scotch
it?
whiskey.
So it rise at
and
3
a dum.
p.m.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
3:45 cocaine. 3:50 another glass of Shivers Regal and a Dunhill. 4:05 first cup of coffee. 4:15 cocaine. 4:16 orange juice. 4:30 cocaine.
Is he eating?
How about these times?
Is he-
Not yet.
3:16,
He's only been up for an hour and a half or something.
3 p.m.
2 Shivers Regals.
4:54 cocaine. 5:05 cocaine. 5:11 coffee. 5:30 more ice in the Shivers. 5:45 cocaine. 6 o'clock grass to take the edge off the day. 7:05 Woody Creek Tavern for lunch with Heineken, 2 margaritas, coleslaw, a taco salad, a double order of fried onion rings, carrot cake, ice cream, and a bean fritter.
Jeez, he's
Then have
starving.
another Heineken, cocaine for the ride home, a snow cone, which is actually, it's not the Just
No.
ice over the
Syrup over
Chivas
ice.
Regas, not the snow coners and the ice, the cocaine or drug type. 9 o'clock, 9 p.m. Start snorting cocaine seriously.
Oh my God.
10 p.m. drop acid. 11 p.m. cocaine and grass. 11:30 cocaine. Midnight. Hunter S. Thompson. Midnight is ready to write. 12:05 to 6 o'clock. Cocaine, grass, Chivas Regal, coffee, Heineken, cloves, cigarettes, grapefruit, Dunhill, orange juice, gin, continuous pornographic movies. 6
God.
a.m. the hot tub champagne, fettuccine Alfredo. 8 p.m.
delicious.
sleep.
See, I like that he mixes it up there between 12:05 and 6 a.m. He has pornographic material and also an Alfredo. Alfredo.
What a combination. Pasta and porn. And you know what? I've just looked at.
Wow.
1937 he was born, died in 2005. So that's 68 years
a
of
wonder.
staying. How on earth does somebody stay alive for that long?
It sounds like a pretty. It sounds like a pretty strict routine, considering he was he scheduled some of his cocaine at 3:16. So I'd say he'd probably perfected it over time.
Yeah, maybe he just. Some people just know their preparation, know their body well.
So, where was he from?
I think he was
Wood
Texas.
Creek.
Or where did he base himself? Was he a bit like...
he was born in Kentucky, Louisville, and then he died in Woody Creek, Colorado. So,
Oh, so he
'cause
stayed in
said-
America?
Because because Dad said he used to go to the Woody Creek Tavern. I assume he would have lived most of his life in
I
Woody
think he
Creek.
lived around a little bit though. Sort of went here. I mean,
I thought he might have been a bit of an Ernest Hemingway who lived in Cuba
I
and
think
throughout
he did
Europe
live in
and
different
France.
places. There was a period there. I mean, Rolling Stone magazine. He sort of wherever that they based, he spent a fair bit of time there. Rolling Stone magazine was originally in San Francisco, then moved to New York. So I'd say our man got around a little bit. Trish, anything catch your eye in the media or social media this week?
Yeah, I noticed in the Australian, they ran an article this week about a Melbourne sex worker who took her employer to the Fair Work Commission for unfair dismissal. So not only was she fired as a sex worker, which is the mind boggles.
I sort of think you can be an independent then, move out.
Well,
there.
she could.
Newspaper ads and stuff.
Well, it was
right?
actually thrown out of court because she was found to be a contractor and not an employee.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
But my main question to
It's a
all of
lesson
that,
for all the prostitutes out there.
sex worker,
Oh, sex workers, sorry.
was
I call them prosies.
why? What do you think would allow for someone to get fired from their job?
If you're a sex worker, I'd say filling in a glory hole in local shitter. Shout out to Steel Panther.
I'm sorry.
No worry.
Say filling in one.
Yeah,
filling
what does
in.
that
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, that's.
Redo, like putting it up.
Do you know?
Oh, blocking it.
Do you ever been to? Have you been in
Think.
a public toilet in some
And it's had
public
a glory
toilets,
hole.
and they've got steel, not Steel Panther, but steel piece of steel there blocking what was originally a glory hole.
How
Really?
big is a glory hole? Have you
Oh,
seen them?
look, some of them are that big, but mine are usually that big. That's where we met. Matt, Trish, predicament of the week time. Okay, predicament of the week. Okay, I'm going to fire this right off at you guys. Okay, 3 options here. Dive into a pool of blue bottles, put your face into a beehive, or dangle your scrotum in a snake pit. Trish, would you dangle your scrotum in a snake pit?
Maybe I would.
Yeah, you prefer that?
Maybe I would.
Yeah. Oh, mate, you don't.
It's a bit of
Honestly,
snake bite.
A hit in the testicles is worse than childbirth.
Yeah.
I mean, it's funny.
Yeah, but I don't have a
Neither,
stroke.
Yeah, and I
Right.
never
Just
get
so you know.
Neither of us will know.
Well, you would think the snakes would be deadly, wouldn't they?
No, well, mate, what I've done,
They're all the same. Oh,
I've
you
taken the venom out of them.
Yeah.
I've milked them.
So it's not called milking them. You
Yeah,
don't
it is.
milk a snake.
No,
Yes,
I
you
think
do.
You milk a bull.
No, you do
No,
milk
no,
it.
you milk the snake.
You do.
You
They
get the
milk the
fangs.
venom from it.
Yeah.
Do
Yeah.
you milk a bull, Coop?
No. Sorry, a female bull, cow.
Oh, jeez. That education. No, I'll dive into the pool of blue bottles.
Blue bottles.
Because I can dive in and get out. And
No,
I mean,
no.
She always does these little caveats. She puts these little...
Yeah. It's a minute in each. It's got to be the
Oh,
same time
did you
frame.
say a minute?
No, I didn't, but thanks,
It's
Coops.
implied.
It was never implied.
I'm thinking the basic in bees.
Oh,
Yeah, I'm going bees as well.
I think it's
Bees.
Yeah.
Yes.
Bees.
really?
Yeah.
I go bees.
I think you're all
Because
crazy.
I think there's a chance. Like, I think the blue bottles are going to sting you regardless.
Not necessarily.
Well, if it's a pool of them, the stingers are everywhere. You're not avoiding them. I think the bees sometimes will not bite unless provoked. So if you just stick your face in there, they might not actually do it. They probably will, but they might not. Snake, they're probably going to get you on the
scrotum.
yeah, especially with dads because they will sag and they'll probably land on the rattlesnake's face.
Hang on, mate. We formed an alliance here. Yeah, you were just... I played rugby league at Wigan with a guy called Harvey Howard. Harvey played for West Magpies, also won a comp with the Broncos. Harvey is one of the life's great characters. Harvey was also a beekeeper when he was in England and showed us a thing where he formed himself a bee beard. You ever seen someone do that? Where they get the queen bee and just sit it there and all the other bees just come around.
We were watching it the other day on the new Jackass when they put the queen bee on Steve-O's testicles, and then about 1,000 bees just sat there and swarmed on his
it
crotch.
looks like a beard on his testicles. Like
Mate,
it was,
that
Do
you
they
showed me that
bite?
Jackass.
Or because the queen's there, they won't bite?
He didn't get bit as much as you thought.
Yeah,
though.
he got a bit of fair, but he had heaps of stingers.
Oh,
in
he
his
had heaps,
scrotum,
but like not as much as you might think. I think it's because
Yeah.
the queen's there, and they. I think as long as the queen
Is happy.
doesn't,
well, he was
feel
pretty still.
threatened.
Like I reckon, like what you said, if they're provoked,
Yeah,
but it was sort of like
I've never actually been stung by a bee, so I actually don't know.
No, neither have I.
I got it on my bottom of my foot. I stood on one.
I did one the other day. I was walking on the sand and accidentally stood on one. Man, it stings, doesn't it? You forget how much it stings. It's worse than childbirth.
You know, like a lot of people can get allergies to bees, but not the first time they get stung. Your friend Christian.
Oh, I develop it. Yeah.
The more stings you actually...
Christian Welsh?
No, Christian
Musgrove.
Musgrove. Yeah, he's allergic to
Funny, Christian
bees.
Musgrove's allergic to rosé. And Christian Welsh...
Yeah.
Okay. Well, listen, that
Just
like
to let
everything.
people... No,
Wouldn't
just to let people know.
Yeah, but don't people develop allergies later in life as well?
Not
People get-
necessarily. You would actually think that if you get stung, you build up more of a resistance to it. It's like a desensitization.
I've heard of people getting more. I've heard of people getting like gluten, like allergic to
intolerant,
gluten as they get older.
Yeah,
like
that's true.
tolerance
I think as you get older, things just
and
slow
like
down.
lactose intolerant things like that.
If I was working at a restaurant, person asked me, "Are you gluten-free?" I'd say, "Do you actually know what gluten is?" I reckon a lot of people just go. I reckon a lot of food manufacturers just put gluten-free on there, and people go automatically think it's healthy.
Well,
Well,
it'd have to be gluten-free.
One of my mates is a celiac, so he
Hmm.
can't have gluten. Otherwise, he just gets no nutrients from it. It just
that's what
goes
I've
straight
heard
through.
people
Yeah, and he gets-
become celiacs later in life.
Yeah. So thanks for
Yeah.
for bagging out all the celiacs.
Yeah.
Shout out because there are very angry people. Celiacs, I know that.
Well, if you
Like a
had
gang.
those pains and being that unwell, you would too, Matthew.
Boys, what's been going on? Coop, how was Hamilton Island, by the way?
Oh, Hamilton Island was so good. Went up there to see one of my friends up there. He's moved up there.
Is that the Toucan Screamer, Finn Heath?
That was 2 cans. No, that's Scott Drinkwater. He's
sorry.
the 12. He's the 12 can screamer.
He's
Yeah,
15.
he's the honest drinker.
Yeah. No, it was awesome up there. And it was a different side. I've been to Hamilton Island with you guys before, but it was a different side because I was with the staff. So obviously he works up there. So
Right.
there's one side of Hamilton Island, which is like the guest side. And then there's just this whole sort of underworld that's going on with the staff. And it is crazy up there.
Is it really?
It is goddamn crazy. They have like their own bar, and it's the bars just go off, and they just always partying up there. It's pretty fun.
And you went up to Early Beach, across to Early Beach as well.
And we went to Airlie Beach as well on the Saturday night. Shout out to all the people at Airlie Beach. A lot of podcast listeners up there.
Oh, yeah.
And a lot of just good rugby league fans up there. They were treating us very nicely.
Trish and I nearly bought a place in Early Beach. Didn't we once? We were very, very close.
Okay.
Oh, you? There you go. Sleep people. Me and Trish, real estate moguls. Okay.
I went while you guys were away, I had dinner with a few of my mates on Friday night. I haven't seen the boys for a while. They took me for my birthday, and Marfu was there. He's a
Great man,
He's
Marfu.
a favourite on this podcast,
He is.
and he was telling me about he's going to give that 75 days of dry, or that if you haven't seen it, it's like 75 days where you're going to be off the
shower?
drink.
75 strong.
Yeah, something like that.
Yes.
And you got to be off the drink, certain amount of k's you walk a day, and I think it's like minimal carbs or something like that.
Yep. Certain amount of water you got to drink.
Yeah, exactly
Yeah.
right. Like something like 3 litres at least a day or something like that.
Yeah.
And he was sort of telling me he's a bit nervous about it because Mafu's a man that likes to live his life pretty
Dangerously.
fun, dangerously. And he was asking me how he should do it. Like, do you think he goes straight into 75 or he needs to build to it? Like, should he go
Fletch did.
3? Like, well, he's thinking about going trying writing it down, go 3 days, and then maybe then go 7 days, see if he can do that, and then try and go into it.
I
Or
think
should he
he's-
just go bang,
go into it.
75?
I
Yeah.
think you just got to break the chain and
Yeah.
just do it. Fletch did it. Brian Fletcher, he lasted. Ben Hogarth, our producer on in at work and also on SEN, Morning Glory, he did it and hasn't gone back.
Really?
He's actually lost.
Oh, he looks incredible.
He's
looks
lost
good.
30 kilos.
He's actually the other way now. He was saying he's got to. The person who's helping him said you need to eat more because he's lost so much weight.
Really?
Now he's
Because
just got
it
free
can be
reign.
dangerous putting on or losing a certain amount of weight in a really short amount of time. They say it's like a shock to your system. You can actually get some bad health.
Well, I was saying this to someone the other day. Alcohol is the only drug that, if you cut it out entirely straight away, you can die from it.
Well,
so, like
that's-
every other drug, if you get a drug addiction, every other drug they can just
Who
lock,
told you that?
doctors. Like it's proven.
See,
Really?
Withdrawals,
that's,
yeah.
that's exactly, Trish, exactly what I was telling you when you said you should have a couple of days off the drink. I said, look, I don't want to die, babe.
Yeah. Well, if you just cut alcohol out entirely, it's the only thing that your body can you can
Crave.
actually die. Yeah, like everything else. With like a lot of people who get addicted to like other drugs, they can just lock them sort of away for a week and then they come out
Gee.
fine. But you can't do that with alcohol.
Must be a hell of a lot of alcohol they're consuming.
Yeah.
If we have any actual licensed physicians out there that
Yeah.
are listeners, could we please DM some?
And mate, we are giving medical advice.
Yeah.
Let's just not take my word for it. This is just what I've heard. Yeah, I think I heard it off. Of
You heard
BBC
it
or
at the
something.
pub? Yeah.
I think so.
Anything else, Coops? We can go-
Went down to the Goldie actually after Hamilton Island. Made my way slow down to Byron. Went down to Goldie. Caught up with a few friends. Aaron Booth, who just had his second knee surgery. Went into hospital and seen him. He's going well. Great spirits, Aaron Booth. Great fan of the podcast as well, Boothy.
Hey, Boothie.
Hey, Aaron.
You got him a vinyl too, didn't you?
Got him a
Yeah.
vinyl, The Who and Jimi Hendrix.
Oh, yeah.
One. Yeah. I went in their little record store in near Nobby's Beach there. I've been there for 25 years, the bloke was saying. Well done, Gaz. And
Listen to the podcast.
yeah, he does. He does too, actually.
Does he?
Yeah. No, he didn't. But I also seen some good friends down at Alfred's apartment, little clothing brand, and we've got it on here actually.
I know. It's nice
Clothing
stuff.
brand and cafe down there. They've just moved to their new location down on Nobby's Beach as well. If you're around the Gold Coast area, get down there, go get a little coffee. Yeah.
It's really nice
And I
stuff.
believe you caught up
Listen
with
to plug us.
wrestler extraordinaire Cameron Smith as well.
Yeah, did catch up with WWE wrestler.
What did you
Cameron
just have
Smith.
for lunch? Chicken wings?
No, mate. Not like you guys at Newcastle, the Grubs. We complete professionals down in Melbourne.
Sure.
Caught up with him. It was actually funny. I texted him when I got there, and I was only in the Goldie for a couple of days. And I texted him. I said, "Oh, mate, I'm here for a couple of days. If you want to catch up?" And he goes, "Sweet." Like, rang me straight back. "Yeah, sweet. Let's do Thursday morning. Yada yada." Anyway, in that time, so I got there. I texted him on the Tuesday. In that time, I caught up with Boothy and I caught up with one of my other mates, Cole, down there. And I said, "What are you doing while you're here?" I said, "Oh, I'm catching up with Smithy." And they go, "Oh, how'd you get on to Smithy?" I went, "Oh, I just texted him." And they go, "Really?" I go, "Geez, that's weird." Because Cole said, "I texted him 2 weeks ago. I said, Smithy, you want to do some training?" He still hasn't got back to me. And I was like, "Oh, that is weird." Then I seen Booth. He said, "Oh, what are you doing tomorrow?" I said, "I'll catch up with Smithy." He goes, "Really? How'd you get on to him? Did you ring him?" And I said, "No, I just shot him a text." And he got back and he goes, "Far out, that's weird." Because I texted him the other day and he still hasn't got back to me.
Well, wait for this. I was talking to Andrew Webster, the journo, the other day, who wrote Smithy's book, and mentioned something about Smithy. He goes, "Yeah, it's weird." He said exactly the same thing. He said, "I reckon I've called him a dozen times in the last month. Still hasn't got back to me."
Yeah, apparently he's like nearly impossible to get onto the phone because Boothie said, "Yeah, I was having dinner with Mal Meninga one night, and I said to him that I'd texted Smithy, and Mal said, I've been ringing Smithy for like 2 weeks and I still can't get on it. He's just,
Cooper, what? I mean, wow.
There's just... Matthew, you would know. Jack, you would know. It's not... Trish wouldn't understand. There's just... When you win a premiership with someone, it's just... You build this sort of connection, I guess.
Yeah.
Whether you're in the side or you're not, it's a full squad effort, and you build some sort of camaraderie, some connection that just, you know what I mean? Vodafone, Telstra, those sort of companies, they just can't break.
Yeah. Do you know the other thing? There is something, some people, sometimes it's just the universe. The universe is just, you just connect.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks.
Okay, on that note, we're going to take a real quick break and be back with more. Welcome back to the John Fiddley podcast. Drinking edition. Jack's Jukebox, what's your song for the week, mate?
Last week, the Red Hot Chili Peppers have announced that their tour coming up next year they've put more gigs on because they sold out so quickly so they're doing it with Post Malone. So they're doing like a joint gig up and down the coast of Australia, and they announced 4 or 5 more gigs for the tour. So I thought, let's put a Red Hot Chili Peppers song on this week. I went with Can't Stop by the Chili Peppers, which
song.
is one of the great tracks.
Yeah.
Nice one.
I love Scar Tissue.
Yeah, it's a good song. You know who can play that? The Mule, Zach Oscar.
Yeah, he can play it.
Yeah. A few Penrith fans out there. The Mule, who will be there next year, can play Scar Tissue.
You know what's funny? I was at my mate's mum's 50th yesterday, and a couple of dudes there said, "Oh, mate," I was like, "Oh, introduce myself. How you going?" He said, "Oh, I actually met you out before. We had a night out once with you, and down at the boat shed at Manly." And I was like, "Oh, yeah? Who was I there with you?" "Oh, your brother, your dad, and Cooper Cronk." And I was like, "Oh, okay." And that was the night the Mule was there as well with us, I'm pretty sure. And they said, "Yeah, mate, we'll try." Your dad was being such a good bloke, just kept dancing with us, and we kept saying, "Matty, we'll get you a drink, mate. We'll get you a drink." And your dad could go, "No, mate, your money's no good here. We will not get you a drink." But then you wouldn't buy them a drink. Like it was you was basically saying, I think, because out of fear of getting spiked or something like that, you didn't trust these young fellas?
No, it wouldn't have been that. It was just the fact that, you don't want to get out of hand, mate. You don't be shouting and all of a sudden, it's...
or is it one of those very common cases where you forgot your wallet on a night out again?
There was an incident once at a night we had out at the boat shed, and I found a wallet in the toilet, opened it up, and there was like $150 in it. And I've gone, oh God, do the right thing. Went up to the bar and I said, "G'day, mate." Yeah, and you're sort of feeling good about yourself. Went up to the bar. "Hey, mate, how you going?" He goes, "Yeah, mate. Mate, just someone left their wallet here in the toilet." He goes, "What do you want me to do with it?"
I remember that.
"I just maybe pop it behind, beyond the bar in case someone asks for it." "Yeah, mate. Yeah, whatever." Yep. I thought, shit, I should have just kept the 150.
100%.
Okay, people.
Pay the cash.
Theme: funniest drinking story. Yourself or someone else? One you've heard, Trish?
I really couldn't think of any because once it's that point, I forget or can't remember.
I tried to think of
we
one.
Black out.
We've got one written
It's
down.
funny because you've put this podcast together, so you've put down something.
Yeah, but I think you guys would
have.
have more drinking stories than I would.
Well, I'm just looking at your sheet. You've got one written down there. Why don't you read that one? Go on.
Well, when I drink, I have a habit of, if I'm in heels and drinking don't really go together. And when I was younger, I used to fall down flights of stairs all the time. It's a wonder I'm alive, actually. I've literally fallen down concrete stairs at Leroy's and took poor Stacey down with me. She was the last thing I grabbed.
Shout out to Leroy.
Yeah. And I've slid down driveway on my face. That was actually at Hoyo's house.
Oh, God. What about the one? Okay, here's one. Trish and I went with some
That's what I
friends, some work friends, to a karaoke in Melbourne.
Right? You've told this story, don't even.
Just off the main street.
Let him go.
Anyway, they'll bring in literally big bottles of Grey Goose, and we're just into it. Anyway, I'm watching Trish, and when Trish just goes. Actually, Webby and I were talking about it the other day, and then suddenly the batteries just drop out of Trish. So I'm watching her at the karaoke, and she's going nuts, and I could just see the batteries about to drop out. As the batteries are about to drop out, she literally bends over to do a dance move, tears the arse completely out of her pants and then passes out.
Thank God I passed out because I wouldn't have coped.
So what I have to do, I have to put her over my shoulder, fireman's carry style, and carry us through the streets of Melbourne.
Because
back
it
to
was
our
only
hotel.
about 3 o'clock in the day.
3 o'clock in the
or 4.
afternoon. What? I'm walking down the main
People
street.
were stopping him apparently.
Going, mate, what are you doing? Well, what are you doing?
He's kidnapping me.
It's my wife. And it's like, he's just got a bare ass. Just
Did you have undies on?
Yeah.
G-string.
That's
G-banger.
not.
G-banger.
Wearing a thong, man. Totally.
I've gone. A mate I played with, Mick, which actually goes to another one. I was just thinking there, but the old man, he got there. He was a bit of a wild boy, lived in the eastern suburbs, playing for the Roosters. Anyway, his mate, his wife said to him, they were having dinner with some friends, and she goes, "Oh, Mick, can you go down? Can you just duck down to the corner store, get a cauliflower, some milk and some eggs?" And he's like, yeah, good as gold. So on the way down there, like a 5-minute walk, he comes past a couple more of the Roosters boys. And he goes, "Hey, boys, what's going on? What are you off to?" They said, "Mate, we're about to leave. We're going to drive up the Gold Coast." And he went and just hopped in the car and went up. Came back a week later, as he was driving, going, "Oh, mate, she's going to kill me. I better do the right thing." Went to the corner store, got the eggs, the milk and the cauliflower, and walked in and goes, "Yeah, doll, here you go, I'm back." Now, my old man did just about the exact same thing. Remember Mum tells the story?
Yeah.
So what had happened, Dad was coaching under-18s rugby league side. Anyway, so that the under-18s football side, well, what was happening, Mum got there and Mum was going, "Gary, where's your jeans? You've lost your jeans." "Oh, I don't know. It's where, I don't know where they are. You might have lost them in the wash." "Gary, you've lost your shirt." "Gary, where are those shoes?" What Dad had been doing in the month leading up, he'd just been stockpiling gear, taking a little bit at a time and putting it at Cessnock, at the football ground in an area. And then all of a sudden, I remember Dad was like missing for 2 days. Mum's like, "Mate, I'm really worried. Should I call the police?" "You probably should." Next minute, phone call. "Hello? Darl, how are you?" "Gary, where are you?" "Oh, the football side, the under-18s team kidnapped me and I'm on the Gold Coast."
No, the best bit about that is on the way back, he fell out of the bus on his ass onto the gravel, end up in hospital.
Yeah.
And they had to pick the gravel out of that had embedded himself.
We went to
in
the
his
Was
ass.
he
That's the
naked?
way that God,
Yeah,
obviously.
he just was bouncing, right? Who knows? Dad was nude on the minibus, fell out of the minibus, and like I remember going up to the hospital and looking, and Dad was just laying face down as they were picking like pieces of tar out of his ass.
Yeah. Gail would have just been sitting there with Glee, I reckon. I would.
Jacko?
Hilarious.
Yeah, I got I'm trying to think of one I haven't said before. About a few years ago, there was a few of us boys that went up to me and my mates went up to Old Bar. We had a night at the Old Bar Tavern, and they were really good to us up there. It still goes well. We all bought Old Bar Tavern shirts and were rolling around town with them for about 4 or 5 days. We had our last night. We had a dress up party. Everyone sort of went as a theme. I went as a pilot. Different boys went as different stuff, and I'm not going to say who it was, but one of the boys went as it was sort of like a mixture between Steve Irwin, David Attenborough, and Bear Grylls from Man vs. Wild, which all us boys watched growing up. And he sort of did a skit for us out on the beach late at night, and the boys are filming him, and he's going, to survive in the wild, you have to eat whatever's available in the environment. And at the edge of the sand, he's grabbed this dried up piece of seaweed and he's dangled it above him, and he's taken a massive chunk out of it and thrown it on the ground, and all the boys are laughing and laughing. And then he started like throwing up, and we were going, "You're good." And he said, "I can't. There's hair. I can't."
What was
he
it?
goes, had all hair through his tongue, and he's gone, "I can't get it out," and he started spewing up. We looked over. He didn't grab a piece of dried up seaweed. It was actually a dried up carcass of a possum.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Hosco, you're a disgrace.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
So one of my close friends on the Northern Beaches, don't want to name who he was, but he claimed to have been spiked. I don't know whether someone spiked him or he spiked himself, But a group of the boys took him to hospital because he was worrying. He was like, "Oh, I think I need to go to hospital." So they all walked him up to hospital, and they're sitting in the reception, and he took this really turn apparently, and he just started like getting like really. And he didn't know where he was, so he walked up to the reception desk at the hospital and started ordering a lamb kebab. And the boys said they just left him, and apparently he got his Apple Pay out and was trying to touch the nurse's hand, trying to pay. Go, yeah, I'll just get a lamb kebab, please. And
That is.
Oh my God.
That is the best.
yeah,
That is
hilarious.
Had he been spiked, and what with? Did they test him?
Yeah, he'd been spiked with something. I don't know what it was. I don't think it was anything like too like life threatening. It wasn't anything life threatening. I think he was just more so just really pissed and was wigging out.
Any feedback, Trish, for this week?
Yeah,
A little bit?
People have really come to our help with the cure for the snail situation. I don't know that I can use some of them, but one of them is beer. Apparently snails love beer. So if you put a bowl at soil level of beer, they'll be attracted to it. But I don't know that it's very kind, because they actually get drunk and drown themselves. So I'm figuring that you're not going to be in on that one, Matthew.
Oh.
Another one was salt, which I think also, I feel that as a kid, maybe I've seen this, salt and a snail make some
Try
sort
it.
of
Yeah,
bubble
bubble.
up.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
nice.
mate,
So
that's-
again, I think that's not very friendly.
So Trish killed a snail the other day.
Oh, I didn't. It was dead.
I was filthy.
He was dead, Matt. He was dead.
Funny.
Would you stand on it, a dead one?
No.
Or you crushed it with your
She
hand?
wouldn't even look at me. She went past sort of snail. I went crunch, and I went what? And she wouldn't even look at me. She just sort of kept.
And I think a more humane way is I've heard crushed up eggshells in the garden, which might look a little messy. I've just had the garden done, or ground coffee beans.
What does it do though?
That deters them, so they won't like it,
deterrent's
and that'll
better.
then they can go down to Marty's or the Skogs or wherever else they like. As long as they're not in my garden, that's all I don't want.
Okay,
I don't want to really kill them.
Throw them over the fence.
Yeah. So, bush turkey, there were no real productive ways. Some person sort of suggested a 22 or a possum trap and then throw it in the pool.
22.
Is that like a gat?
Like,
you know
so
Des-
I went,
do you know
I
Des-
said, no, I don't think so.
Desi Hasler, when he was our neighbour, told me a story once. He had a trouble with minor birds. There was quite a bit of minor birds in the street.
Yeah.
And Des was like, I was trying to get rid of it. And so what I did, I set up a trap. It was like, anyway, I was waiting for this bird to go underneath this box I had, and I was just going to pull it out. Anyway, it spotted me, and
Gets
it was like, no, and I was going, oh my God, is Des losing his mind?
Is that the end of the story?
There was another one involving a slug gun, but I don't want to go into it.
Slug gun.
Shout out to Des. He's looking for a job at the moment, Desi.
Get him on the podcast.
I've got a little bit of
Listener
interesting information about drinking cultures. This is how this theme came about. I learnt the other week why the French look down on us so much. Because,
Did you kill snails and they ate them?
well, that's true too.
on.
That's
Good call.
questionable on either part. Do you know that if you go to a gathering, they don't take a drink of alcohol until all the guests have arrived?
Right. Yeah, right.
It's French etiquette.
Same with South Korea. In South Korea, you can't pour your own drinks.
Oh, that's like the Japanese.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, you need to have your drink poured and you are to pour other people's drinks. It's politeness as well as conversation starter, apparently.
Right.
So it's socialisation.
But what's the point of that? Like, if someone shows up 2 hours late, like Dad.
Yeah, quite
Imagine if we had to
literally.
wait for Dad on the weekend.
So let me tell you, if there was a drink on, you wouldn't have to wait for me.
And wait for this. This is the other reason why they don't get so badly drunk and handle their alcohol a lot better. They don't open another bottle of wine once dinner is finished.
But yet,
This is from friends of ours that lived over there.
well, do you know this? That more people die in France every year due to alcoholism than they do in England.
Alcoholism or alcohol-related?
Alcohol-related and alcoholism. Yeah. But they always go, oh, the French are such, they're...
Liars.
But, yeah.
Hey, I did a little further research. Who do you think drinks the most alcohol in the whole world per capita?
I would say, now,
When I say alcohol, we're talking pure alcohol, so it's not beer. I have another category for that.
I reckon it'd be one of the Soviet countries. They just smash it. I'd say Lithuania.
Ooh, they're second. Number 1, Belarus.
Really? Belarusians.
Yeah.
Is that per capita, isn't it?
per capita?
Okay.
Yeah, and that's pure
Is
alcohol.
Russia?
Russia's the 5th.
Who's fourth?
4th, Czech Republic and France.
Wow, look at that! Look at that. So if you go through all the former Soviet countries, you got Hungary, Slovakia, you got Russia, Czech Republic, Lithuania, and Belarus.
Who's number 3 there?
Number 3 is Grenada.
Grenada.
Oh.
Well, I had a friend who played for the Townsville Crocodiles back in the day, the old days at the NBL, and they had 2 Lithuanians in the side, and he said, "You've never seen anyone drink like him." One of them was 7'1", and they said they were drunk every day, and oftentimes drunk through practice. And on one occasion, they could smell grog on him during the game.
Wow.
Wow.
He said it's just what they did.
And we found that when we went to Hungary because they had the palinka, and it's almost like pure alcohol. It's like
man, blows your
ethanol.
head off.
Yeah, it does. It's really hot. Yeah, so those countries do tend to drink a lot of that pure alcohol sort of stuff. Okay, which country do you think drinks the most beer? Not per capita. I have both statistics.
I'd say Czech Republic.
Which country?
Yeah,
Beer.
just in litres, not per capita.
I'd go the US just because they have all like those jumbo size stuff. You know what I mean?
Sorry.
No, by population, it's China.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah, well.
For the 18th year running.
Yeah.
yeah, right.
18th year running.
Uh-huh.
Well, yeah.
But it's just because of their massive population.
Unbelievable.
And if you're looking at it,
St George Dragons won 11 in a row. Look at that, 18 in a row for China. They always do things better.
and per capita, it's the Czech Republic.
Per capita, yes.
Mm.
Yeah.
So
Great
Dad-
beer makers.
Yeah. Well done, Dad. Father.
Thanks. Okay, everyone has a drink that is their kryptonite. Jack, what's yours?
Tequila. I get pretty floored by tequila.
Ooh.
Do you know tequila is the only upper of all the...
I've heard that before, yeah.
For guys that are over 30.
Yeah.
Do you know when you guys are still going through that phase where when you drink, you sort of get high? Whereas when you get past the age
Older.
of about 33, there's something that doesn't exist in the brain that alcohol actually literally becomes a depressant.
Is that also,
Sad.
is that how much research has been done into that, Cobb, or is that just something you just heard before?
Fletch told me.
No, it's always been said that alcohol is a depressant.
Oh, no.
And I never understood it as a
talking
kid.
about tequila.
Oh, specifically.
Yeah, tequila. That was
Well,
Fletch who told me that.
Shandor had a theory on tequila.
Oh,
if
this will be
you're,
good.
yeah, he has a lot of theories. If you're feeling like sick or like where you start to feel like you need to spew or something on the drink, he said have a tequila. It just flushes everything out, and then you can just keep going.
Yeah.
Or you could stop drinking.
Yeah, but okay.
I've gone vodka. Goes
Yes.
to that saying. Obvious reasons.
Yeah. I'm vodka as well. That's what just makes me drop.
Well, unlike you guys, I couldn't think of any. I don't
Oh.
think I
Have a kryptonite.
have a kryptonite. No,
Oh.
I seriously don't think I do.
Right.
Yeah, right.
We're not discovered as yet.
You don't think I don't reckon I do. I drink like a vast
maybe.
majority on a night out.
Maybe too much. Maybe just simply too much. Too much of everything is a bad thing.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Espresso martinis, actually, I don't like them. Just because I don't drink coffee.
Sorry.
It's the coffee and the vodka in that makes it.
Who
that
are
makes
you?
me quite sick.
But I can imagine you going to the bar like you and Christian Welsh with your monocles and your... Could we have a rosé and a martini if that's okay?
I said I didn't like espresso martinis. That's why I don't order them.
Cooper, what's got on place yourself on your goat this week?
Cardigans.
Wow.
Cardigans.
I love cardigans.
There was a man on the Gold Coast I saw that was wearing a cardigan, and I wrote it straight down in my phone notes. Cooper's Corner this week will be about cardigans. I'm not a fan of cardigans.
Why?
Not only am I not a fan of them, I think they're a crime to fashion, and I think they need to be eliminated.
Oh, I think they're really cozy.
I love them. I love it. I love a Cardi. Cardi B.
Okay. How do you know who Cardi B is?
I'm one of the cool kids, mate, you know.
I wouldn't
I've got-
classify knowing Cardi B.
I've got
as
her greatest hits album. It's
Do
really
you?
good. Yeah.
What's on it?
There's Loop the Loop and Jump About. Down on the corner, dog. Okay, Trish, who's the best drinker you know?
I've got to go Joel Ogilvy. She's has
a
energy.
machine.
She's a machine. She has energy to burn. She's always on. She never gets drunk or messy. She's just, and she backs up. She's actually my hero. There's some superior gene in that woman.
Coops.
I had it was almost an equal tie between three. Tui Kamikamitha, the Bromwich brothers, and Justin Olam.
Oh,
Yeah,
Wow.
those.
Well, Tui, it goes without saying, like the size of him.
Yeah, but me and Jack were talking about it yesterday. There's something in the Fijians that they can just drink for days.
what do they tend to drink?
Oh, they drink literal anything. Beer.
got
When
great
we were in
motors.
Suva, they do a thing called taki.
Oh, I haven't heard about that.
Make sure I'm pretty sure it's taki. And so they bring out, so you get a jug basically of like, I'm trying to work out what the actual bourbon is over there, but it's like a bourbon and Coke basically. And you get little glasses. So every 5 minutes you'll like pour the little glasses and then two will go taki, and we all sort of touch glasses, and then you have to scull it. But they're like small, similar, like bigger than shot glasses, but smaller than a normal
Like a 5.
yeah. But then like every time, whenever he says taki, then everyone has to do it, and you just end up like so blind.
It's probably like just that right amount where it's below a short glass, and like, and there's how strong is it?
Pretty strong.
Yeah.
Pretty strong.
See, a short, there used to be, a short is a 7 ounce. Back in the day, Trish, there was a 5. There was
I've
a
got no
5.
idea.
You had schooners, you had middies, you had 7 ounce, and you had 5 ounce. You don't see 5s anymore.
No. Yeah. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Taki.
But the Bromwich brothers too, they are like
Good drinkers.
Yeah, they're unreal, eh?
Yeah.
Yeah, they are, and they're fun on the piss too.
Are they?
Yeah.
Respect.
Very word.
We've only got 2 more shows after this. Do you think for our last one, we actually have like a little bit of a drinking game?
Nah.
No.
I'll be in pre-season by then, Teach.
Yeah.
No, you
I'll
won't.
tell you what.
No, you won't. Just before.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jack's really, he's training hard. I'll
Yeah.
go with Jack. Jack's not going to drink. What you'll have, mate, we'll have sparkling water for you.
Thanks, bro.
Okay.
Thanks, bruz.
Yes, we will. It's a great idea.
I've gone with Jaden Mafu.
Yeah.
There's a reason he's going on the 75 dry. He doesn't want to drink old Marf, but you don't get a nickname like Iron Throat for no reason. He will scull anything and will never refuse.
What about
And he's a lovely lad.
at the Knights? Give
the
us one
Knights?
at the Knights.
Toucan Screamers.
Ooh.
Yeah, give us
Jeez.
ones. Who leads the charge when you have team
what
drink
about
up?
Dave Clemmer? Can he?
Dave's good. But I think Dave had like most of the year off the drink actually. Just gone. He's a good father, Dave. He's got a lot of responsibility. So
But
he's
handy.
not always,
I do like
What about
discipline.
Handy Randy?
Chris
Randall.
Randall is quite good. He's quite good. Bradman's all right when he has a crack, but not often.
How's Bradman's tattoo going?
Yeah, I was about to ask the same thing.
It's going good.
Yeah,
It's going strong.
it's good.
Yeah.
Shout out to him in hospital at the moment for that nasty infection. mine, I don't know if I've told this before, but Uncle Herbie, a relation of mine who
Fine one.
was known as Hunter Valley's greatest drinker and was an absolute machine. He used to go over to Peden's Corner, just around the corner. Billy Peden's dad, Athel, owned it. And Herbie had an accident in a coal mine, and so what he used to do, his passion was drinking. So Dad went over there. Dad used to work afternoon shift at that point. So Dad would go over there for a counter lunch, and every day Herbie would arrive there at 10 a.m., Athel said, and would leave at 10 at night, because back in the day when they used to have to shut at 10, and would call his wife to come and pick him up and get like the goon bag, and take back and I can knock it over. So the old man said to Athel, is it every day? He said, yeah, every day but Sunday, because pubs couldn't open on Sunday. So Gaz goes, how many you reckon he has? And he goes, I don't know. He goes, I'll put him on the tick. So the next day he puts him on the tick, and he says to Gaz, mate, he had 34 schooners, right? And ordered the goon bag and went. So the words started going around Cessnock about Herbie, how much he could knock over. So these young blokes said to him, mate, we'll bet you $200. We'll take you across to the Servicemen's Club where it's a cheaper drink, and we'll bet you that you can't drink 50 schooners, right? So he goes, yeah. So he went over there, drank 52 schooners, got the goon bag, and went home. And the final part of this story, he's on holidays. A lot of people in Cessnock, they either go to Foster Tongue Curry or they go to Port Stephens. So Herbie and his wife had a caravan, Foster Tongue Curry. So they're at the local one day, and there's a couple of local young Cessnock blokes there, and they're talking to these locals, these Foster blokes, and they go, mate, see that bloke over there? Mate, you've never seen anyone drink like him. He's just like a machine. Doesn't have a swallow. So they walk over and they start to chat to him, and they said to Herbie, we'll bet you $50 you can't drink 15 schooners in 20 minutes. And Herbie goes, oh, yeah, look, boys, I've just come down here for one or two. I'm on my first beer. I've got to go back to the caravan. My wife's cooking up a barbecue lunch. So how about I go back to the caravan and meet you back here at, say, 3 o'clock and I'll have a go. They went, yeah, sweet. Now, he didn't go back to the caravan park. He went to another pub down the road to see if he could do it. Did it, then come back and did it again.
Imagine how bloated you would be.
Oh, man.
be sickening.
He was a big man. He was a good footballer, Herbie. Big, strong guy. Okay, guys, the tip of the week for anyone, whatever it is, apart from getting on Spotify, listen to the band Galba and the album Wembley. Remember that for the Oasis cover of Stand By Me. Any other tips, guys? You got anything for this week? How'd you just go at the Everest, by the way?
I didn't even have a bet. I was rattled from Byron,
Yeah, right.
and I was sleeping.
It was a big surprise.
Yeah,
Big surprise.
Craig Williams?
yeah. Craig Williams. You don't even see it coming. You'd think Nature Strip's about to run away with it at 150.
Nature Strip was home for all
Literally
money.
don't even see. I would have been, if I was on Nature Strip, I would have been celebrating at that 150. And then, I reckon there would have been a lot of people celebrating in the crowd.
Oh, no doubt.
Yeah.
Guys, that was a lot of fun. I'm just going to check the time here. That was a big one. Look, an hour 12. Guys, we are getting to the pointy end. Trish said today, this is going to be a long one. Should we divide it in half? I said, no. Give the people what they want. Let's finish with a bang.
Yeah.
Good start today. Have a good week, guys.
Stand by.